My name is Jing. I live in New York, moved here in 2009, right after the great financial crisis. I used to work at an investment firm. Um, really secretive, so I don't actually say who I worked for, but I learned a lot in a really short amount of time. And it also gave me a passion and love for investing in public markets. And even though I spent most of my career working at tech companies, both big and small, IBM being a big one, I am not a technical person. I have an accounting and finance degree. And I've always looked for ways to kind of marry like my understanding of tech with being able to do investing again. And this year, I've been on this journey to build a business that brings these two things together. I'm one of those people that I totally missed .com. I totally missed the internet boom. In the late 90s, I was still in high school. And then in the early 2000s, I was in college and I didn't have any money. So when the stock market went up like crazy in 1999 into 2000, I didn't make any money. When the stock market came down from 2000 to the lows in 2021 or 22, I didn't short the market because I didn't have any money. And then when stocks were really cheap again in 2001 and 2002, and you could have bought Amazon and all these other companies at like dirt cheap valuations, I still had no money. I was working at Chick-fil-A and Best Buy, and I basically I had no ability to take advantage of investing in the markets, right? But like many of you now, I think all of us have some amount of money, and we're kind of waiting for like that next really great opportunity to deploy capital. And and I think that it's a really great chance for us all to have the right tools, have the right mindset, and also have the right planning, so that when stocks get cheap and when different stocks get cheap during different times, you're ready to deploy your capital and also understand when to buy, when to hold, and when to sometimes sell, because sometimes you can make mistakes. Even the best investors in the world, they make mistakes, and they have to have a process for getting out of their mistakes. At least as far as our own personal portfolios are concerned, there's actually a few big advantages that we have as like individual or retail investors. The first is like if you're a professional investor, usually you can't really tell your investors that you're just sitting in a bunch of cash. Like that's kind of a big no-no. You have to have good ideas. You have to like beat the market. You definitely have to beat cash, and you kind of want to ideally also beat the S&P 500 as like two minimum bars to clear. Um, like the average retail investor, I would say there's it's not necessarily a bad idea at some points in time to sit on a fair amount of cash. If you're patient and you have a process and you can scan and find good valuable stocks, that tends to be the way that everyone can win, and it tends to be like a more risk friendly way to play the market versus looking for something to buy every single day or every single week. I do a lot with my Zoe now, and there's a few reasons why, and there's a few key differences between something like a ChatGPT or something like a Claude app and your Zoe computer. The first is that these different apps, they do have little bits and pieces of memory features now, but they don't have the ability to really absorb as much information about you and your business and your goals and what you're doing as what you could do on a Zoe computer. Like a Zoe computer is like you have an entire hard drive in which you can put all sorts of information about you in it. And when the AI needs to do something to help you, it's able to basically look up literally everything on that computer, or it can see like everything within one folder. And so you can think about like a folder and everything that you want to put in it as additional memory and context for the AI, so that when you need it to do something for you, it's a lot smarter than ChatGPT generally could be, or Claude, your Claude app generally could be. And the other thing that these different AI kind of chat interfaces don't do that well is they don't really handle a large amount of data very well. And so if you've got SEC filings as one example of, oh, can you guys all hear me, by the way? I just want to make sure we're all still okay. Good. Yeah. So if you're trying to analyze stocks, one of the things that any investment firm worth their reputation is going to do is they're going to really want to understand the company. And one of the table stakes things that everybody does is they read the SEC filings, because these are regulatory disclosures that publicly traded companies have to share with the public. But for an everyday person, keeping up with SEC filings it can be a full-time job. One 10K is over 100 pages long, typically. So every 2 to 3 months, you've got hundreds and hundreds of pages of reading if you're trying to track just 5 or 10 companies. So one of the things that we built into the Clarion system that runs on top of Zoe is an automated way to just tell Zoe that you want to understand a company, and it'll go and pull all the SEC filings. I've done a bunch of testing and using of Zoe. If you were to analyze like one company and you wanted to pull a few SEC filings and you wanted to run an entire analysis on it and publish a research document, even if you were using like Claude Sonnet, which is a little bit more, one of the more expensive models, it still costs you less than $1. So that should give you kind of like a rough idea. And you probably see this little QR code on the bottom right. This is like my special code for you guys. If you do want to sign up for a Zoe computer subscription, I think the basic plan is like $18 a month. You get $100 in AI credits. So that's like 30, 40, 50 companies easily that you could track and maintain going forward for like a pretty nominal fee. Yeah. So anyway, a really quick overview that I wanted to provide you is just kind of like the contrasting of like what an AI chat application is relative to something that's more like an OpenClaw, which I look at Zoe as it's an always on 24/7 managed OpenClaw that I can use, and I don't have to worry about it ever going down. Like it'll always be up and running for me. I can access it on my MacBook. I can access it from my phone. And because it's more than just like a chatting application, it's got a storage environment of all the stuff that's important to me. And then it also knows what's important to me because of the ways that you can add context about you. Explain to me how I can start using the Clarion system, right? Like that's a really great way to just start getting familiar with what you can do. But like I would say like it's three general categories for things that you could do. First is if you don't know how to search for companies, there's a screener. And one of the things it can do is it can help you flag and shortlist out of the universe of thousands of publicly traded companies, which ones might be interesting to look at. The second thing it can help you do is quickly research stocks and research it in a vigorous, like in a serious way by, again, being able to pull these SEC filings about the company and also do some web research. And then the third thing it can do is it can start to help you think about how to put together a portfolio and how to keep yourself accountable to, either staying in or selling or holding the different stocks that you end up deciding, hey, I do want to own these stocks. When I say, that there's the Clarion layer that you can install on your Zoe, one of those things that is getting installed is a few different skills. So for example, what you see here on the slide, Clarion regime check, that's basically a skill that tries to understand the character of the entire market. So it's not caring about any one particular stock, but it is trying to understand, like, is the S&P 500 a healthy looking market right now, right? There's a lot of different ways to kind of define that. One way to define a healthy market is that more stocks are participating when the market's going up versus just a few stocks are dragging the market up.
Right? For anyone who's new to Zoe and like how the skills might work on Zoe, you just ask it any question that you have, right? So I was like, what can Clarion do for me? That's what I said. I was like, make me a dashboard so that I know what tools are here for me to use. And then from this, I said, hey, I have 30K that I want to invest. What do you suggest for me? Create a thesis. And it did. Then I was really interested in some certain businesses. Is it a good idea for me to invest in that or not? And it gives you guidance like that. So it's kind of like whatever your curiosity is, ask Zoe, and that's a great place to start. And because it has all of Jing's amazing skills in it already, it's going to know exactly what to do.
The whole point is that there's a bunch of these like skills, which are repeatable things that you may want to do or you may need to do to get new ideas for stocks to buy, to understand the stocks that you think you might want to buy, and to also understand the whole market and the character of the market, as well as to help manage your portfolio once you have bought stocks. Like there's a whole bunch of different skills in the Clarion system, and those are basically getting layered on top of your Zoe. Personas are basically like kind of a character, right? So sometimes you're interested in doing investment analysis, and other times you just want to like cook dinner, you want a recipe. So personas are things that can like trigger and turn on because you're ready to like analyze a stock or understand the market. And they're also things that can like switch back off, but they help the Zoe respond to you in a more specific way for different types of conversations that you want to have. Automations work really well together with skills. So for example, if you've already, if you're already holding 10 different companies and you just want to track different things about them, you can create automations. And they can be anything from like, just tell me things that are happening with this company that are in the news, or they can be like, once every week, check SEC filings. And I want to pull the latest filings that I haven't pulled into my Zoe yet. And I want you to tell me if there's something important in there. For example, like I want you to tell me if the CEO sold a ton of his shares, or I want you to tell me if the CFO sold a ton of their shares. Or I want you to tell me if the CEO and the CFO bought a ton of shares in their own company. Like if I just distill it down to like a very simple concept is that I think, if you turn on like CNBC or you follow some accounts on Twitter that are talking about stocks all the time, sometimes you just hear something and your gut reaction is like, oh yeah, I agree. That looks good. I want to go buy it. Right. That's too simplistic of a way to, I would say like that's a too simplistic way to manage your portfolio and your money. You really want to have a process, meaning that you want to understand why this is now a good time to buy that company. And so you need to do the research. So you need to find the stocks or find the companies, then you need to do the research. And then you need to have a conviction. Like a conviction is a point of view based on information that you've gathered. And the role that Zoe plays in all of this is that it basically can accelerate and automate a bunch of that information gathering for you. with those different skills, with those different personas, and with the different tools, like being able to fetch a whole bunch of SEC filings and read it, faster than most people can read it, right? You're gathering and you're organizing information so that you can have conviction that sometimes a stock that you buy doesn't go up the very next day. You have conviction that it's okay, the market's fluctuating. This is why I believe this stock is still going to be worth twice as much in the next 1 or 2 or 3 years than it's worth today. And so ultimately, as this Clarion system is pulling all these SEC filings, helping you quickly understand and analyze companies, it's looking for like these 4 things, and it's trying to score how strong the company is on these 4 things. So the moat, the management, financials, risks, and then it's giving you a score, and then you can do something with that score. Like if it's a very high score, okay, maybe you do want to buy this. But either way, every company is going to be evaluated based on some consistent things that are generally important for a company if you want to own the stock for a prolonged period. So let's do one that I haven't done. Let's do yeah. I will share the system. Okay. So let's fire off. Let's do okay. So I'm gonna do. Let's do. I don't know. Okay, now there's too many. Let's do ARM. I haven't done ARM. I'm curious myself. And then I'm just gonna put ARM in here, right? And I'll try to explain what's going on when we fire off a prompt like this, and it's got some of the Clarion stuff in it. So you can kind of see it's thinking, it's telling you what's happening. So it's switching to the Clarion analyst persona. Again, that's something you can also install. And the Clarion analyst persona is going to help do a bunch of work. So it's going to pull in index filings. See right here, pull in index filings. That's happening because on this Zoe, just like on your Zoe, if you install the system, oops, sorry. Let me pull the right things that I want to show you. There's something called SEC Indexer. So SEC Indexer is actually a service that's running on your Zoe. It's going to Edgar. It's pulling the filings for you that you want to, well, that you don't really want to read because it can be pretty tedious. It's reading a bunch of those things for you. So it's pulling 10Ks, 10Qs, Form 4s. Form 4s are basically disclosures that management has to make if they're selling or buying stock. So these tend to be important things. Remember those 4 key characteristics that it's looking for and kind of score: moat, management, financials, and risks. It's running that. That's another part of the skills in the system. It's trying to understand the market regime. It's placing a higher requirement if the market is like kind of frothy. It's kind of placing like a higher, think about it like if you've ever done like a return analysis or net present value analysis. It's basically saying like the bar is a little higher if the market's really frothy versus if the market's really cheap. And then it's trying to come up with a final answer of add, hold, watch list, or skip. And then I think in my prompt, okay, sorry. Yes. And then at the end, if it is based on the different findings that it's sourcing, I like to just publish a little Zoe space, which is basically like your own personal little web page or website. I like to publish one for each company so I know when I looked at it and what I thought about it at that time that I looked at it. All right, cool. So it's running all these things. I'll let it keep working because this does take time. It literally pulled hundreds of pages of documents in. It's trying to understand it all. But you can see like it's really helpful, right? Because it's still doing, even though it's taking it some time, it's doing this a lot faster than most people can do it. So while I let that run, I wanted to let me show some other things. So let's see if I switch here. Okay, it doesn't follow. I have to kind of go to, let me go to this. Okay. So I just wanted to show this real quick because this is like a way to help yourself keep organized over long periods of time, like what you're trying to do with your portfolio. So one of the skills is to write one of these letters, and it's just a way to like say like, what was my goal? How did I want to allocate my money? Right. In this case, I have this is kind of something that I did a little bit uniquely, but I said like 50% value, 30% systematic, which is just like whatever's popular at the time. So right now it's like AI. So like what kind of AI stuff looks kind of not too dumb to buy, even though everything's up a lot. This is again a little category that I defined myself. Like your Zoe, you can define all these things yourself, but this is just how I did it. And then now it knows like, okay, this is how I'm going to split all the money, right? Then it talks about, well, what kind of market are we in, right? So it makes some commentary that, again, you can go back to like next year, 2 years, 2 years in the future, 3 years in the future. You can understand like why you did all these things. And the system will kind of, continue to learn from the assumptions it made in the past that were right and wrong. And it's showing you like the allocation of like which stocks are in the portfolio that, are part of these different buckets. And yeah, it's basically like, it's exactly what it's called. It's a living letter, right? So this is like your way to write down why you're making these different decisions, why you're managing your money in the way that you are, and why, and then ultimately like what was going on at the time and what you learned. Let me show you something that ran all the way through. So I did this earlier today. Yeah, there's a lot of things. So let me show you the beginning because you can see just how much work it's doing for you. I mean, this would probably single-handedly take me a whole day if I was just to do this, if this was all I wanted to do today. So again, this was like another company. This is Snowflake. You guys probably know it if you're in the AI data space. It's a pretty hot company. It's looking at the regime. So this is, it's still saying narrow breadth, which is basically like only a few companies are really pulling this market up. That's just the facts. It pulled 65 filings in. That's a lot of reading. It's checking to see if it's done. It's doing some more checking. All right, and then it's looking at a few things that it wants to do to set what's called an equity hurdle. This is basically like if the company's so good that it's going to generate a return that's in excess of this 9.83%, it's going to say, yeah, I think this is a good company that you should buy now. If it doesn't, it might say, wait. Now it's switching to Clarion Persona, which is one of the personas that does a lot of the stock evaluation. And it looks like, the initial verdict is it's not like an outright, screaming buy right now, but it's something interesting. So it's basically flagging it as a watch list. And now it's telling you like why it thinks this about the company, right? It's telling you why management and capital allocation is mixed. I think it doesn't like how much stock they're paying everybody because that dilutes your ownership in the company. It does think that it has a decent moat. So it's not like anybody can just build this company to compete with Snowflake. And it's saying like financially it's delivering. It's like, look at how much it's growing the revenue: 2.81, 3.63, 4.68 billion, right? So it's a pretty good, healthy, fast growing company.
Yeah. So Jing, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you everybody for joining. I went ahead and posted the WhatsApp link in the chat. I'm going to post it again. Jing and I are both in that chat. We are here to help you continue learning how to use Clarion, how to use Zoe. So please go ahead and join that link. In addition, you can use the code JING100 in your billing promo codes. Put that in and you'll get $100 in AI credits. We'll also send this out in an email. And then also just to clarify, because I know a lot of people are new to Zoe here. And so the reason that Zoe is going to know what to do when you ask it essentially everything is because it is this AI computer. And so anytime you're like, can Zoe do this? Is Clarion going to know to do that? The answer wonderfully is yes. You can just literally like ask your Zoe, hey, I want to know about this. Can you do this? Like someone asked a question about the investor letter. Be like, hey, Zoe, can you make me an investor letter for XYZ? And Zoe will say yes. Zoe will prompt you with what it needs from you. And all you have to do is respond and it will walk you through everything. So there might be a little bit of like learning what Zoe is and how it works, but that is the gist. And we are here, Jing and I are here to support you in the WhatsApp chat. We have a Discord community. We will send all of this stuff out to you in an email. But I really recommend, making that first little dashboard with yourself, having fun with it. You can customize it a lot. And yeah, just thank you all for coming. And we wish we could stay on here forever, but want to respect everyone's time. We also do community build hours every Monday for 2 hours. You can come and ask any questions that you might have. And yeah, Jing, again, thank you so much. Let's all give a round of snaps for Jing. Thank you so much. Such a life-changing tool. And yeah, thanks for sharing all of your knowledge with us.